Alright, hello everybody. So, as a lot of you have probably seen, I have shot about like... Oh, why is that so much louder? Did I turn that down a bit? Oopsies. Sorry, that music probably came in really loud for y'all. So, as y'all can see, probably have seen in the redeems, I have shot a lot of them because I did want this stream to be a bit chiller and I wanted to be a better reading experience, so if someone has this in the background, I'm not screaming or they're not going to hear sound alerts or me being just generally a lunatic kind of thing, if that makes sense. So like a lot of the things have like my redeems have been turned off for now. I think the followers are still there. Where are my rocks? I'm sorry, we're doing this chiller. I'm gonna be going, so this is the first time I'm gonna do a reading stream. I don't want to bring like full chaos. I want just something that you guys can listen to. Oh, I forgot the bonk makes sound effects. I need to actually change that. I need to make the bonk be silent. 1 second. Which was the bonk again? I think it was audience. I think I'm just gonna mute that for now. Yes, but like, yeah, basically I want this to be a bit chiller. Someone could have this on in the background, basically, and just listen to this go on. I'll probably talk to y'all in between like the different phrases, but I'm gonna finish like a paragraph per thing, and then we'll continue on that way kind of thing. I may come back, say something, but like overall, I'm gonna try and read a paragraph and then move on kind of thing, if that makes sense, or I will just continue reading a second one. No, yeah, no spoilers or anything like that. I want to like kind of work through this and kind of talk about it as we go along kind of thing. I think like in between paragraphs, I might go, oh, look at this thing here. Also, Kanta, thank you for redeeming first birthday girl. Fucking creature. But yeah, this is gonna just be like, I'm gonna try and be a lot more chiller. Thank you for this. I need to turn that down. I need to turn that down a shit ton. There we go. I'll have that be on still, but I'm gonna just turn it way down, I think. And thank you for the subscriber. The fact that you do it on your birthday, thank you. Hi. I'm the one getting a gift on her birthday. In the end, Moses have an 80 paragraph long makeout scene. Oh my god, like in Arcane? But yes, this is gonna be like a chiller kind of thing I'm gonna try doing for like PM stuff. If people do like it and people do actually like tune into this stuff, I might like do other stuff other than Olympus. Other than like kind of like Project Moon kind of stuff, like Distortion Detective, Leviathan. We might do like more things. We might even do like Sinner source material if this like is actually something that we like doing kind of still. Oh yeah, no, I'll look at them in between paragraphs. Just don't expect instant responses to a lot of your guys' bullshit today, alright? But yeah, this is gonna just be a nicer kind of stream. If y'all do have music, Dream of the Richard, we'll see how it goes. If y'all have music that is not copyrighted, I would be willing to put that on. Right now, as you're hearing right now, I'm really looping one of the songs from the Lob Corp, by the way. This is like the Hesed music, when it rains thing, which I think is from like some of his story beats. That is longer than the Bible? Is it actually? Oh my god. Is it actually? Oh my word. But yeah. Oh, wait, that's another... Oh, you know what? By the way, Kanta, I'm not gonna bark on these kind of streams, I think, because like I said, this is gonna be chiller. You will have a run over for the next stream, by the way, that you can kind of... You can redeem that bark whenever you like, kind of thing. That will be a future bark reading that you can grab at any point. I should be working since today will be chaos. Yeah, that's fair. Just something to listen to. Also, the last two since the author died after volume 3. Oh, so like legit, like the author's vision got like changed halfway through, kind of thing. Is that how that worked? That sounds like how many words is in Dream of the Red Chamber? You know, now you have me interested. 82,000 words? Oh, okay, maybe not that one. We'll see. If, like... that might be, like, a funny goal thing, maybe, that we do that. But, like, otherwise, I don't know about that one. Oh, that's legitimately pretty crazy, actually. Well, that actually is shocking, kind of thing. That's a thing. Oh my word, you know, that's a lot of words. But yes, I guess that is enough stalling from my end, huh? But I think we are about ready to get started on everything here. Actually, let me move this really quickly. But yes, if anyone has any music that is non-copyrighted, of course, like if it's like a game OST, something chill, I would be willing to look at that, like, and we might be able to put that on kind of thing, if for background kind of stuff, since we don't want to get completely copyright striked. Otherwise, we're just going to be looping and might do like a couple LobCorp things, kind of soundtracks from like the actual game itself kind of thing. But otherwise, this is going to be a pretty chill one. And I guess we'll get started. So yeah, this is going to be Distortion Detective is what we're going to be starting with, right? And then we'll probably move on to Leviathan. I think I heard something about Wonder Lab being taken down. So I don't know if we're going to be able to do that one without like issues. I'd have to look into Wonder Lab because like I heard something about that, so I don't want to like get caught in the middle of something, if that makes sense, kind of thing. But yes, we'll start with chapter 1. Dante, read my series. Shut up. Chapter 1. I can see the distortion. 1 cause, 2 explanations, and 3 understanding, and 4 acknowledgement. I can see the distortion, and the distortion could occur to anyone. I don't know who coined the term distortion for the phenomenon, but people just started calling it that at some point. No one knows how it works. Also, I didn't check if that one actually was muted. I hope that was... Sorry, I know I said I wasn't going to interrupt myself, but I didn't know if that was muted or not. Were you guys able to hear that bonk, yes or no? I just need to double check that one before we get going, because I realized that one was something that I was talking about. It was muted? Okay, perfect. I didn't know if I muted the right thing or not, so I had to ask, so perfect. Okay, so... And, I don't know if you heard my spiel arrow, but yeah, basically chiller stream for today. But yes, let me start that over. I didn't know Chaos could read. Alright, buddy. But yes, I'm gonna start that from the beginning because I wanted to make sure that thing was working correctly. I can see the distortion, and the distortion could occur to anyone. I don't know exactly know who coined the term distortion for the phenomenon, but people just started calling it that at some point. No one knows how it works, but the experience so far suggests that this phenomenon is a manifestation of strong emotional desires and explosive surge of feelings. Okay, so we're gonna be like starting off with someone who knows somewhat, and I know this is Moses, so we're starting off with her not knowing all the answers, and it's kind of seems to be from her gonna be first person, so that's kind of interesting. But yeah, Arrow, so like I'll interact, but basically we're gonna go paragraph by paragraph and then actually interact with things. Mario, I'm gonna kill you. But yeah, this is going to be kind of a very much chiller stream. It's not going to be the regular antics you get from me. I'm going to try and keep it very relaxing, to say the least. The pianist which wreaked havoc on District 9 is known as one of the most notable cases of the distortion. Not many are aware that the smaller cases of the distortion are happening here and there across the city even now. A person turning into a fish, and another one's eyes being dried with the hues of the sky are two such examples. Oh, died. Oh my god. Actually, I just realized, since I can make the text way bigger for us, actually. That's probably a better idea for everybody, so you guys can actually easily follow along if you want to. Thank you for Stretch Shark. Distortion appears to me as visual distortions in a literal sense. Although I can see them, they aren't tangible. In the case of the person whose upper body gradually turned into that of a fish, I could clearly observe scales growing on their body, yet when I touched their skin, I could only feel the soft sensation of a normal human skin. Hearing this much, one might think the distortion is mere an illusion. Well, that would mean I'm simply delusional and suffering from hallucinations. However, I've taken up this job because that is not the case. I'm chasing after the distortion. It is a secretive yet explicit, and it proceeds slowly. For example, the fish person I mentioned earlier, who was dubbed the merfolk, underwent gradual changes such as having their eyes protrude, gills appear, and scales grow out of their skin. When the upper body almost completely morphed into the form of a fish, the change physically manifested in a moment's notice. Only then could others see what had become of the merfolk and physically feel the fishy features of the body. Wait. Sorry. Uh... Didn't we see that? Sorry, I just... We're gonna... So, like, this is what I remember from... Ruina. Didn't we have... the mermaid? Am I crazy? Didn't we see the merfolk exactly? Or is that different? Yeah. Oh. Oh my god, that just flashbanged the fuck out of me. Where is that exactly? Can we find that? Why is there an image but it's not correctly? And why is that a flashbang? Ow, my eyes. Oh, I see, that's why. Is that different? No, I guess that is different. I guess, is that more of a physical thing, or is that just merely a reference? What was their name? Was it Miss Mermaid? And why is the image so, like, tiny? I hate it. I love trying to search for things. When I don't remember the name exactly. Yeah, here it is. Okay, is that her? Is that supposed to be what I'm referencing? Is the mermaid that we see from, like, the 8 o'clock circus? Why is all the images tiny and grainy? How the hell did this even happen? Oh, fishy. Fuck us, Oswald. I mean, let me see Oswald Ruin. I'll see if that will let it pop up exactly. Because I think we saw him fight. So is that just how Atriat is? Didn't we see the mermaid in, like, the sprite work, or, like, in the actual, like, VN section, I thought, though? Oh, here we go. No, this one is actually big. This one actually is working. No, see, that was just somebody, like, just taking horrid pictures, by the way, because that actually is, like, normal sized. Weird. So are we saying, like, this has been a distortion all this time? Like, I guess that would make sense, though, knowing, because didn't he distort Philip and Ruina exactly? I probably should save these kind of, like, weird search things in between chapters. Yeah, we'll stop doing that from now. Like, was that ever specifically stated that... Did I just close it? Oh my god, I just closed it. Oh my god, I just closed it. Oh my god, this is a great start. This is a great start to the stream. Oh my word, where is it? Restore previous session. That's not right at all. What? Oh my god. 1 second. Oh boy. 1 second. Let me Thank you for the head pat. I'm immediately breaking things. This is great. This is gonna be the first time I've done something like this, so I'm already breaking things. Hello. But yeah, I think probably I'll stop doing the search things. I will only search those when we actually finish the chapter, because we might get more information. And why is that window capture still broken? That's not what I'm on. Hello? Uh, that's like literally not what I'm captured. That's not the right thing. 1 second. There we go. I had to reset it fully, apparently. There we go. That fixes it. Strange. Peculiar. But yeah, okay, so I will stop doing the, like, searches. I'll do that in between chapters. I should read these in one long burst. I apologize. I am somewhat figuring this out as we go along here, so please hold with me as I try and figure out the best way to kind of, like, do these reading things. So I apologize on the original Scatterbrained. I will try and refocus that a bit more. That's my bad. And yeah, so we were right here. So the Merfolk, garbage streamer. All right, buddy. The Merfolk, Case 5, was originally a villager in District 9's fishing hamlet who was subject to constant abuse. It seemed that they spent most of their time staring into the Great Lake, yearning to escape from their current life. My conclusion is they desired to be free from their agonies and saw the lake as a getaway, and that strong longing for water ultimately distorted them into the merfolk. Of course, there are many other complicated factors involved, but I'll admit the details since the merfolk is not the main subject of my story. My work is to look out for cases of distortion and prevent them. In fact, the progress of the distortion varies for each person. Ever since I gained this ability to see omens of the distortions with my eyes, I cannot see a single person who is not distorted in one way or another. Once again, I don't have a deeper understanding of the phenomenon or anything. I simply started seeing it one day, and could notice it earlier than others. Since I can see the signs in advance, I do my best to warn people to take preventative measures before it manifests. That is my job. I was hired by a firm that had lost several of its staff to the so-called Ascension incident, and sought out the employees whose eyes were filled with the sky's colors. The firm advised them to wear sunglasses, the idea to give them sunglasses so they couldn't keep the scenery of the sky in their eyes. The idea to give them sunglasses so that they couldn't see the scenery of the skies in their eyes was so outlandish. It made me chuckle. The sky no longer being blue for them didn't have much positive impact on their boring lives, but at least they didn't evaporate anymore. Fucking excuse me? People were just straight up evaporating at a certain point? Lovely. The people who used to look up at the sky started looking down instead. Perhaps they still wanted to get closer to the sky by going up to the rooftop, or maybe they were just one of the many who chose to jump to their death. The city isn't too interested in what happens after a case is solved. All they need to know is if the deaths were understandable or not. I'm not a charity worker, so I don't bother looking into the cases of the distortion I wasn't asked to investigate either. Huh. So, this case of Ascension, this whole Ascension thing that we're hearing, they distorted and wanting to be free from the city, it seems? Kind of to fly away, it seems more than anything. Case 13, Balloon People. This case was rather explosive. I titled this case Balloon People because people's heads quite literally expanded like balloons until they pop. This cold explosion would cover everything with a 10-meter radius with blood and blow to pieces everyone in its range as well. A company in Oak Corpse Nest finally asked for my help after suffering 5 incidents of those balloon people. After some investigation, I found out that all occurrences of this distortion had one thing in common. They all worked in the service industry. Huh. To interpret a distortion, you need to combine multiple pieces of evidence. This process consists of 4 steps: cause, explanation, understanding, and acknowledgement. So that's where the title comes from for the, or part of this, like, subtext for the chapter. First, investigate the possible causes of the distortion, and construct a clear explanation that covers the causal relationship in a convincing manner. Then, make the subject understand why they are going through the distortion, and have them acknowledge that they could fully distort at this rate. If any of these steps succeed, the case is closed. The distortion is considered solved, if the subject regresses to a form that looks human enough for me. So basically, she band-aids the issues more than anything. I think that's what it seems like anyways. Because it doesn't sound like she's full curing them, because like she said, everyone could distort, everyone's currently in the process of it in some way. She just acknowledges it in a way that causes them to no longer fully break, it seems. But the risk will always be there, which is interesting to say the least. I wonder what Otis looked like in her eyes, knowing how much she like constantly poked at the smoke war thing. It clearly had to be as like a very big visual if she's constantly feeling the need to like just kind of mess with her at all times. Like, it had to have been affecting her. Those who became the Blue People used to work in emotionally intense fields such as delivery carrier, nurses, and call center clerks. Particularly, call center clerks had the largest average explosion radius of 16 meters. Some inquiries revealed that another company had subcontracted all customer service calls to one call center. The clerk's job was to record the claims from clients and send those records to the company. The problem lay in this process. The call center clerks lacked any expertise in the subject of these complaints. Yet they had to endure heaps of insults from their clients, even though there was no use lashing out at them. The clerks were treated like emotional garbage cans, hearing all kinds of abusive language and even threats from clients. Yeah, that's call centers. Never work at one, pretty much. It's basically the only... Its entire point is to create a system to where you can vent to somebody at the cost of someone else, basically. And largely all your complaints will go on deaf ears. Oh boy. We can already tell. This is chapter 1 and we're already getting to like call center stuff. PM at it again. Service workers are compelled to put on a smile and a cheery voice while being a punching bag for others. Having no way to vent out their own distress, such stress would naturally accumulate over time. This resulted in their heads inflating like balloons. All the while they maintained a facade of serenity. They'd end up exploding once their stress reached a breaking point. From that point, my work is simple. I made a list of clerks whose head appeared inflated to me and sent that to the company. Those clerks then lost their jobs. The company don't bother investing any time or effort into shrinking their heads. My work often ends before I can end the stages of understanding and acknowledgement. Ah, so she's not even a band-aid to this issue. She's just a tool to prune the edges of distortion, huh? Just a way to move the issue away from the companies and just put it all on the people. How lovely. That's fun. Their simply interpreting the distortion doesn't resolve the fundamental issue. Their stress is bound to explode in one way or another. However, such matters didn't concern my clients much. All they cared about was maintaining the abnormal status quo and evading responsibility for the distortion, not the cause behind it. I suppose the same could be said of me. I can't help but keep thinking that we're all missing something important. I believe I'll be chasing after the distortion for a while, as every single thing appears distorted in my eyes. Right now I'm looking in a mirror. To my eyes, I'm the only one who doesn't appear distorted, in a world full of distorted people. Could the one person who remains unchanged be the undistorted one? As I look at all the distorted people, the distorted streets, and this distorted city, I come to think that maybe the whole world is distorted. I couldn't fathom what would happen once the distortion of this world continues and reaches a critical point. Till then, I'll stay ever vigilant for the distortion. I am the Distortion Detective. And this is, I think, the first key part. Yeah, she said the thing. Yeah, she said the thing. Moses sees many Carmens. Yeah. So, I don't know if this is just the art style, but she looks a lot more openly depressed and gloomy compared to what we saw in Limbus Company. I don't know if that's an art style change, or that is just the current state that she is in right now, by herself, alone in this world, with just getting rid of anybody who does not fit the status quo who's about to start. One second. Yeah, and then pretty much chapter 2. I don't even want to know what I just saw at the bottom there. I'm just gonna not question the Project Moon website. You... Oh, okay, so wait, we do know Ezra. Oh, so Ezra is in this one. You idiot. I quietly murmured, grinding my teeth. Ezra had done it again. I told her numerous times not to ask sensitive questions to the subject of distortion. Ezra then whispered to me, Detective, what do we do? Huh? Is this someone else? I think this is someone else. Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, that is someone else. Sorry, Chef. My niece isn't very streetwise, yet You see, oh, you lovely young sprout. What do you mean with the detective? Are you seeing stuff again? Poor little thing. So you're just a couple of nut jobs. If you disrupt my business with bollocks again, I'm gonna call security. Uh, okay, it's these two. Okay, so it's two different voices. They're not labeled at all, so I'm like, who is this meant to be? The master chef yelled, although this restaurant was too small and shabby for such luxurious titles. Yes, I'll teach my gal here to behave. Are you insane? Did you really have to say it out loud? Wow, the food here is just as disgusting as the sanitation. Who taught you to cook in a small restaurant that's not seeing too many guests? But it really did taste horrible. You think we're here to enjoy the food? You're supposed to carefully look around for clues. Just cram the food in your mouth before the chef finds us suspicious. This food has to be the cause of the distortion. I bet the revolting taste drove them crazy and made them wander off. I'm cutting your salary. What? By 25%. Detective, please! Fucking Ezra. God damn it. Oh, she really is. You know, I called her a golden retriever, like half joking. Man, it's not even a joke. She really is just a fucking dog. Like, this is like one of the most dog-coded characters I've seen in a while. Also, once again, Yang. Points, Yang. I took a pipe out of my inner coat pocket. The case may be struck for the moment, but it should end well somehow. With such optimism, I started smoking. I'm a fixer from District 14. A decently experienced grade 5 currently working for 7. The association specializing in intelligence and investigation operations. We have IDs of these, don't we? I solve mysteries for a living, though most of these unsolved cases are about the distortion anyway. The city still seems to be mostly clueless about the distortion. I simply jumped into this budding niche earlier than others thanks to my cursed talent, seeing people's distortions. So, what did the chef look like to you, Detective? Oh, so what did the chef look like to you, Detective? The lower half of the body was that of a steak, and hands were attached on its tails. It had 7 tails, if I remember correctly. Huh. Interesting. Ugh. What about the upper body? Was it human? Yep, I could see a human in a filthy chef's uniform. Does that mean the distortion only has progressed by about half? Maybe it'll manifest in a week or so. It could very well happen tonight, judging for the circumstances. The one mouth on one of the tails was salivating and twitching it quite intensively. Anyway, we're dealing with a reptilian, right? Let's see, a Stigma workshop product could work. You always pick expensive gadgets. No wonder she's cried about her budget. She can't buy expensive weapons at all. That's why oh yeah, the pattern of distortion has been changing lately. The manifestations are getting faster. No, to be precise, the distortion has started to manifest even while people are unconscious. That's right, their bodies distort in their sleep. This seems to happen with people who are only half distorted from what I can see. Sloppy monster can only cause sloppy trouble. Oh god, that's not foreboding for this chapter of sloppy. I don't know why, but the word sloppy makes me concerned about what's gonna happen. This is why Association gave my office a request. People have been disappearing at night beside a certain hotel in the area. The Association had been safeguarding. Recording was forbidden in the back streets of District 14, so there's no video footage available. The hotel only had 2 entrances, the main gate and the back door through the kitchen. None of the missing guests were seen leaving through the main gate. The hotel wasn't assaulted by a syndicate, either, which was obvious considering that the Zwei were in charge of the area. Detective, maybe something's really up with the kitchen! Its chef was the most distorted person around, so it's plausible. The sun sets and the night falls. We infiltrated the hotel restaurant. The ferry I spent a fortune on enters the keyhole and opens the doors for us. Sometimes singularities feel much more like monsters than the half-baked creatures born from the distortion. So, are fairies actually like fairies, as the term is? Because, like, I think the only time we saw fairies were giant spikes in the case of, with Bina, who uses fairy. So are there multiple kinds of fairies that we just haven't seen yet? When Redeemus disappeared? I have gotten rid of multiple redeems for this stream because I just wanted it to be much more casual kind of stream, so I didn't really want a lot of noises kind of popping off all the time, Neon. So it's gonna be largely about reading. We're gonna just kind of take it nice and chill. So there's not gonna be any loud redeems or anything like that. Wow, are they having a party or something? What are they eating? Under a red light, skinless husk of flesh were sitting around a table, eating something. The only dish on the table was something that looked like a large leather sack. They each grab onto something from the sack and eat it. The putrid smell stings my nose. My mind falters for a moment. What? Are these actual distortions or are these something else? So they're just... Wait, let's say. So it said eating something, large leather sack. So I'm guessing they're eating trash or scraps of like something. Turn around, do not look at what the thing they're eating. Don't breathe. This is driving me mad, detective, but it looks so cozy in there. It looks like a bedroll. You'll be eaten and turned into manure once you get in that bedroll. Oh, so it is just straight up humans. Ezra was completely entranced. I smacked her in the chest as quiet as I could. I gave Ezra a handkerchief so she can cover her nose. Keep it tight. We're heading to the kitchen now. Leaving behind the feast, we sprawled toward the kitchen. A long line of people waited in front of it. Oh wait, actually, let me turn it back to full screen. A long line waited in front of it. Those were the people reported to be missing. They enter the kitchen one by one, and then the human-shaped flesh hunks walk out, each carrying a leather sack. They bring it to the table to eat from it. The food that bewitches people, huh? What could they be eating, detective? Time to find out. Get ready, assistant. Ezra took out a Stigma Workshop sword out of her bag. I pulled out my smoking pipe. The door led to the kitchen is wide open. People lining up for their sack pay no attention to us. They're simply mumbling to themselves. We proceed slowly. We're going in. I could hear the sound of kitchenware at work. The chef is busy cooking something. Holding multiple cooking utensils with the hands that are in their tails. What could they be cooking? What are they feeding those people with? Detective, people are bowing to the chef to show their heads. The chef is splitting them open and taking something out? Doesn't look like a brain. They aren't extracting the brain itself. They're pulling something out of it. Could it be thoughts? How is that possible? That's what the distortion is all about. Unseeable things are materialized. That means they're giving away their thoughts to the chef so the chef could cook them, and the chef also peels their skin to use as the sack. That's pretty wicked. My eyes meet the chef's gaze. Hey, you're the insane bunch I saw earlier today. If you want to eat, then line up. The taste's gonna be nothing like the stuff you ate before. What are you feeding these people? I'm giving them what they want. I cook thoughts. People these days don't even know what they're thinking, so they need someone to cook those thoughts up and feed them. You've already killed people. Oh, you've already killed people? Case of the distortion that is capable of murder would be, according to the standards of our office, set up, a risk level 3 distortion. Kill? They aren't dead, they're having a feast, don't you see? Ordinary food isn't enough to keep people happy anymore. You gotta make them who you are. You gotta know who you are and what kind of world you're living in to truly savor its flavor. Sorry. This is almost like a cheap urban myth. You've gone too far. Detective, the fleshy things in the restaurant all came in here. You haven't tried it yet. I'll show you how your thoughts taste. Ezra, take them down. The Stigma Workshop sword emits an orange glow. The wire on its blade heats up. Each time Ezra swings the sword, one of the hunks of the flesh falls to the floor. The heated wire weaves behind symbols through the section it slices. A trademark feature of the Stigma Workshop products. The smell of burnt meat soon fills the kitchen. So I'm guessing the Stigma Workshop leaves a mark of stigma? Thank you for the good boy, Kanta. Thank you very much. Now, this is really weird. This is one way to definitely start a story. It's very much going full into, like, the craziness we're seeing right now, it seems. A sentient case of distortion that willingly harms others is ultimately subject to determination. We sometimes encounter distortions that we can't take down on our own, but most of them can be dealt with in some manner. This kind is especially simple. Have you tried your own cooking then? Self-contradiction. Distortions that damage others while claiming to care for them are bound to face irony. So you're feeding others with a dish you haven't even tried yourself? What makes you so confident in its taste, My cooking has to be tasty. All the customers look sad and sulky even when I serve them with the most delicious food here. It's because they didn't think for themselves. You can tell if the food is tasty just from the person's face? Someone who doesn't try their own cooking isn't a real chef. Fine, I'll eat it. I'll eat my own food. There we go. That's the spirit of a true chef. And the chef split open their own head. They put their hand into their brain and pulled out something glowy. As soon as the chef was done taking out the thoughts out, they collapsed onto the floor. Just like that, the chef passed away before they could taste their own thoughts. Detective, I took care of them all. I'm done with my share too. Should we contract this Y association now? Yep. Just write up a short result report. They won't believe all the fuss about cooking thoughts anyways. I'll go get some sleep first. Got it. Is this someone else? Okay, I think this is Ezra, I think. Good morning, Detective Moses. You're a bit later than usual today, huh? Yeah. The line at Pad Pan was long today. Guess everyone wants to check it out since it's the first to open in the north of the city. Oh, Ham Pan Pan. Did you get some for me too? Yeah, I got one for you just in case. You like mustard, right? Heh. Mustard's flavor's great. That's why I sent us the reward just now. That quick? It only took them a day. I bet they scamped the paperwork. Anyway, to sum up the case, it was about the unappreciated cook who wanted to bring joy to the people in their own twisted way. It was a crude story. We've had to deal with distortion on our own a lot more often these days, now that I think about it. Why are the wings and other associations so passive about it? Monsters are actually appearing! Because none of them were noteworthy enough to even be an urban plague. Well, the pianists being the sole exception. Still, shouldn't someone do something about this? It's like a ticking time bomb. I bet a lot more people died as syndicates than to the distortion. By the way, you're not actually going to cut my salary, are you? That stupid chef's food really was the cause! Try using that good memory for something better. I can hear you! What the next chapter holds. We're going to just skip that because we're going to be kind of reading right ahead anyways. So okay, so these are like just comments. That's what was the lower thing and like other stuff. That makes more sense. The detective for unsolved cases, located in a 3-story building somewhere in the streets of District 14. It's mystery how people manage to find their way to my humble office. Maybe not break things, please. There's rumors of a haunted alleyway. People who pass by it disappear. How do they Oh, wait, it flips. Okay, I don't know why. I thought the one who would talk about rumors would be Ezra. There's rumors of a haunted alleyway. People who pass by it disappear. How do they disappear exactly? Ezra asked curiously. No one knows who disappeared or how. All we know is that someone disappeared somehow. That it's either a memory manipulator or a reality warper. But detective, I thought reality warpers only existed in your theories. Oh, why do they separate these in a separate quote? That's fine. And it's either a memory manipulator or a reality warper. But detective, I thought reality warpers only existed in your theories. This might as well be our opportunity to see one of them for the first time. What's this all about? It's just our jargon. Where did they go missing, by the way? Ezra changed the topic before the client could ask further. It's somewhere around the Plaza of Cherished Hopes. That's not too far from here. How did you know that people went missing? Used vehicles and objects were found abandoned in the street, like bicycles and cars, and most of all, the furniture in my attic was sorted as if someone had been living there until today. That means one of your family members had disappeared. Huh? But there's only 3 people in my family, and they're all fine. Me, my husband, and my child. We'll see if we investigate it. What if there really was another family member I've forgotten, like you said? And if they're dead, the culprit should be killed. That's rather stern. Well then, we should start discussing the request fee. What's Renobe? Huh? What's Renobe Neon exactly? I'm just double checking something on my side here. Sorry, yeah, just fixed something. There we go. Ezra's eyes sparkled as she spoke. I left the financial management tour of our office to her. She has enough wits to figure out how serious or tough requests will be, so I can trust her to lead negotiations like this. I headed out to the terrace while Ezra and the client were busy bargaining. Huh. You know, I guess that makes sense. She is the somewhat socially smart retriever, I guess. Or, well, not that smart, but I guess it makes sense she'd be specialized in one thing anyways, compared instead of just dumb dog all the time. Detective, I'm done. Oh yeah, I didn't read this part. I'm skipping things. Sorry, my bad. I smoke from my pipe, feeling the acrid breeze of the back streets. Still, this air is much clearer compared to the messy atmosphere during the smoke war. The distorted creatures walk their way the way the streets as always, wondering how long I'll be doing this. I puff tobacco smoke. Ah, that's the real reason why she hated Otis as much. White novel? It's yeah, I would say it's similar. Yeah, I think it's basically very similar. It's a story that was released by Project Moon, the people who I've been playing a lot of games of. You know, I think you've seen Limbus Company, I'm pretty sure. They're the creators. They also have been like they have their own little stories. In this case, this is probably closer to a light novel in that kind of style, where it is mostly text with a picture or two in between on the chapters, if that makes sense. But it is very much largely words. Detective, I'm done running the contract. The client went back to her home. Positive cherished hopes, was it? Get ready. Do I bring the usual gadgets? Ezra asked as she stuffed equipment into her dimensional bag. Sure. Fox really like the Limbus. Yeah, I very much enjoy the story of it, which is why I'm going to like actually read a lot of the side material here. And I was like, I thought about we had a lot of people in the Discord who need to either want to read it or participate in this kind of stuff. So I decided to do it on stream. And we'll see how it goes. I might do this more often, you know? I walk along the street with Ezra. The time is 2 p.m. Ta-da! Here we are at the Plasma of Cherished Hopes. What do we do now? Wait till the night falls? This case appears to be a location-type distortion, judging from the client's description. Powerful distortion can affect its surroundings as well, as optimizing nearby objects into it. We should look for any distorted buildings, but only you could see those weird buildings, Detective. What can I do? See if there's abandoned bikes around here, maybe. There are a lot of more. I'm guessing that was a localization issue more than anything. There are a lot of distorted buildings than it seems. It would be quite a sight if they manifest all at once. And thank you for the head pat and good boy, Neon. Very nice. My brain broke for a second there. Now, which building to investigate first? I don't have any specific criteria set in mind. Some deductions and intuition are all it usually takes to figure out. This one is a case of the distortion that devours people whole. The victims are forgotten by others. Why were they attracted to that distortion? I need the profiles of the missing people. But if no one knows who disappeared, it'll be difficult to figure out the common traits. Ezra, look for a place around here that provides goods or services for free. What? For free? Does that kind of place even exist? Preferably a place where people who don't have a job would go. And that is why it's easier to figure out. The distortions of the city are actually rather simple to understand. Ah, there it is. A place called Lumire's Soup Kitchen. Sponsored by anyone? Nope. It seems to be run by an individual. Lead me there. People who are destined to be forgotten in the city will naturally be attracted to free meals. Isn't this a studio? What? Looks like a worn-out tent, though. It's a distortion. Does that really look like a studio to you, Detective? An aged studio. So this is the soup kitchen, right? Yep. The descriptor says they give away free meals to children or the elderly who are too afford anything else. Do we use ferry to enter? Huh? Don't you know how expensive it is to recharge the ferry? It's just an ordinary tent camp. All we gotta do is walk in. I asked because I'm seeing a deal sort off with a lock. I don't like how you talk back. I'll be cutting off your salary. What? I'm just kidding. Aren't you having too much fun with that? It shakes my heart, even if it's a joke. Say, should we wait till night? Soup. Yes, we love soup. We can interfere with a distortion that's manifested this much already. What are we waiting for then? Hold on. You shouldn't just barge into a closed-off section of someone else's mine. I walked up to the door and gently knocked on it. The door was unlocked. Let's get inside. What did you just do? The entrance opened up on its own. I simply showed courtesy. You told me not to use the ferry or anything. So all I could do was simply knocked on the locked door. A photo studio set up inside a wooden building. The whole building exudes the smell of hardwood, and large frames fill up the walls. It's much bigger on the inside? Now I see why you said it looked like a photo studio, detective. I guess it's visible to you now. Could those photos on the wall be the missing people? Maybe. Each photo held a picture of corpses, various photographs of dead people. One common feature is they all died indoors. Oh, I actually have seen this artwork before, so I guess that's what it was. Yeah, so this is very much Distortion Detective compared to Limbus. She looks a lot more tired compared to like Limbus Company, which honestly surprises me. I feel like she'd be more tired in Limbus Company, but I guess maybe she's a bit happier in Limbus. Maybe, though I guess we'll find out. The room is breathing. I can feel its respiration, its beat. No one knows how many people this room has devoured. Dying elderly person stands before me, a lonely old person whose breath is fainter than the room's. Forgotten by others, this aged person has brought and taken in people. As the doddering one faded from everyone's memory, so too did the people they took in. Not a single person knows them. They were here, dying, all alone. This is a place of memorial? A person whose head turned into a camera greeted us from behind. The four lenses on their head rotated disorderly, fixing their gaze onto me. Yikes! Surprised, Ezra fell on the floor. I remember each person. What voice should I do with this one? Someone who I guess who's obsessed with memory. I remember each person in their photograph. I take pictures of them and frame them. Who are you? I am a photographer. I believe I should be the one asking who you two are, in fact. This is Moses the Distortion Detective, and I'm the talented sidekick Ezra. She speaks with confidence, revealing our identity so shameless. We are fixers. We actually got requests about recent cases of disappearance. So they do realize that some people have gone missing. What's the point of it all, though? They were already treated like invisible people even before they disappeared. Did you lure them in with free meals to kill them? Did you lure them here with free meals to kill them? I need to read like a sentence ahead for my context clues, because it could be either person. Ezra questions the person while looking at them with suspicion. No, I didn't. I simply remembered the people who are bound to be forgotten. Like Miss Agnes over there, I'd take pictures of them so they could be memorialized in this room. The old person standing before us would be Agnes. She's staring at the pictures hanging on the wall, letting out heavy breaths. There are so many people who die alone. I realized that as I worked, so I want to remember them. What work? Kidnapping people? No, not at all. My work was accompanied by an awful rote. When its neighbors report the smell, I go and retrieve the body. So you were a mortician who usually dealt with people that died lonely deaths. Yes, my work was to look for such bodies in the streets of District 14 and direct funerals for them. As part of the welfare plans of N-Corp's Nest, I've arranged funerals for 253 people, and not a single mourner showed up at all. I decided to take one last photograph of their death before I retrieved their bodies, so that at least I could remember. Sorry, 1 second. Okay. God. Also, on the note, just like the majority, I feel like this is gonna be a running pattern of distorted people are just quite literally just victims of the system, acting out and pushing against it. Even though they lost themselves in the process. So you weren't running this soup kitchen from the beginning? I got fired, and Corpse Nest said they don't deal with a useless undertaker like me. Funerals are for the living, after all. I'd meet the same fate. Sorry, order. Figuring something out with my family, sorry. And also, hi, Naki. Welcome on in. I'll give you a brief rundown on what's going to happen this stream. So this is going to be a much more quieter and more chill stream for me. I'm gonna try and avoid yelling as much as possible, which going to be interesting for me anyways, because you you know me. But yes, but basically I'm gonna try and read till there's breaks, and then I will look at chat. Otherwise, I will just try and focus on reading. Otherwise, yeah, it's just gonna be largely reading. I've turned off a good bit of redeems, as you have probably noticed, just to keep it quieter. And if there's any like music recommendations that are copyright free, I will take those for you to, if you want to send them to me either in chat or on Discord. Just make sure they're copyright free, please. And I'll give them a look at and see if we'll put them on, kind of thing. I'd meet the same fate, since I don't have anyone to remember me. For life to be meaningful, the memories have to be passed on somehow. So we decided to remember each other. Remember that we existed and lived in the city. Oh, that's the guy. Why? These quotes are driving me crazy. There's so many like small like errors in like the grammar and punctuation. When was Distortion Detective written? I'm guessing this was written like early on in like Project Moon's work, because yeah, there's like a lot of like weird choices in like the writing, and like also just like a lack of punctuation. I don't think that's the translation, because this was like, yeah, because this is like the English version beforehand. Oh no, wait, that is the translator freaking out. Oh, it is taking some of the punctuation away. That's actually really funny. Huh, weird. But yeah, no, I do wish they kind of labeled who each person was, or made it more clear, because like I feel like either Moses or them could be saying that kind of thing. Which is interesting to say the least. I'd meet the same fate, since I don't have anyone to remember me. For a life to be meaningful, the memories have to be passed on somehow. So we've decided to remember each other. Remember that we existed and lived in the city. You're distorted. I think this is Moses. You are distorted. What you've been doing is kidnapping people coming to your tent for free meals. Nothing more. You aren't the one to decide whether they'll die alone or not. But it's obvious. It's so apparent that they'll die in their own rooms, abandoned and forgotten by all. We've remembered each other, and we've forgotten in peace. We'll have the right to not be neglected by everyone so ruthlessly. And rob the people who still remember them of their memories? You just kidnap people who were in the same shoes as you, because you yourself were afraid of being forgotten. You took away their chances to be remembered. The lenses on their head started rotating all of a sudden. Guessing that's supposed to be a laser beam sound. I stodged to the side as soon as I heard the sound of something starting to run. Oh, it's a oh, okay, so that's like the camera wind-up sound. Snap! I fell on my knees and fall to the ground. My whole body feels numb. A sharp pain strikes my head. Detective! Stay away from the lenses. Don't let it take a full picture of you. The sounds of the lenses rotating and film being reloaded could be heard. When it takes a photo of someone, it draws out something from that photo. I feel an acute twinge all over my person, as if numerous spikes were stabbing me. I remember a few that inflicted this kind of pain. Ezra, I'm putting up a smoke screen. Yes, Chief! I took out a smoke pipe from my comb, blew it out as hard as possible. I love the little, like, sound effects. This sound covers the whole room. You snap, snap, snap. The camera flash goes off in random directions with each snap. Detective, what are we gonna do now? Type that shouldn't be allowed to see. I mustn't let it contain us at its sight. What's in your bag today? The usual. The usual. Stigma workshop sword, Alas workshop gloves, Corey gloves, Nestor hammer, and... Throw the Corey gloves at me. Got it. Only Ezra can see through the thick smoke. A pair of sky blue gloves fly across the room and I snatch them right away. I put on the gloves and slam the wall with my hand. The wall begins to freeze over. Snap, snap. I take a deep breath through my pipe. The smoke that fills the room is sucked back into the pipe. A shiny wall of ice reveals itself. The lens flashed, taking a picture of its own reflection on the icy wall. Crack. The photographer fell down, cracks showing up in its heads and lenses. You made others be forgotten because you didn't want to sink into oblivion alone. Perhaps, maybe I was the only one who had completely lost their chance to be remembered after all. How many people have you walked in here? 57. Can you recover them? Yes, I can. Then your life is spared. At least, bring them back now. But who will be there to remember me now? We will. Thank you. The photographer's head returned to normal, only a single eye retaining the shape of a lens. The studio regressed to a tent, now full of people. The distortion was solved. We found the missing family member! He's the one, right? The client doesn't look too happy. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, my father's back. Haha, no wonder I forgot. Well then, shall we transact the remainder? Ezra counted the money with a smile, while the client and her father headed back looking depressed. No one would welcome the outcome of this request. They'd have much preferred to just forget about the people who eventually made it back. They'd murmur to themselves about how they wished those people to disappear forever. I heard later that 58 people's worth of smoke quietly billowed out of the crematoriums in the back streets of Nencorp's Nest one day. And I simply remember, any subscriptions or financial support will be greatly appreciated and well for— oh, this is I read that just on like instinct, but that is just a separate thing. You're a very good puppy, Cantaloupe. Pat, 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 pat. And I hope you're enjoying your birthday so far. Yeah, oopsies. I'm just straight up. I'm straight up reading them, going, please please pay so we can continue doing these chapters. Yeah, this is very nice. I will say I am liking this so far. There's like a little bit of writing errors, but like very much the story is very interesting. Yeah, so I would say so far it's been very interesting. Like the actual distortions are very much interesting, and like how Moses goes. And this is giving us a bit more information on like the actual types of distortions, and they're kind of like how they do have different kinds of categories. It seems. Though it's the way that she puts them together is very much different from how Limbus Company does, because Limbus Company ranks them in kind of difficulty and their kind of sin affiliation. Well, this one seems to be a lot more personal to their own afflictions, it seems. Though, I will say it's very much just trying to put a band-aid on issues in a case that's just like, they're not doing much. They're more so pruning the loose ends with distortions, it seems. Kicking them out of the system or taking personal requests to, in the end, save somebody else. Greetings, Dr. Let's see. And my former associate, Hiju. Do we have any work of them before, maybe? Apparently a very common name because I've seen multiple people. Okay, so that's what it... Wait, that's a dude? Wait, what? Okay. I looked at the art and I straight up thought that was a woman. I'm gonna be so for real. I straight up thought that was a woman. You know what? Here, let me share this with the class really quickly. Yes, I know it's a redirect notice. I picked it. That's a dude. That's a dude. Like the eyelashes too. I would have been wrong. I would have guessed this was femme. I would have guessed this would be a girl. This would have been a woman. That is just a very feminine man. Okay. Like the eyelashes are like also like something that gave it away to me. Man, that fucking Project Moon strikes again. The leaders of androgyny. Project Moon design 10 out of 10. Like I straight up looked at that. I thought that was, I would not have guessed. That's actually crazy to me. Alright. And from what I saw, it's sharp tongue, so I guess I'll be a little bit more... I'll give kind of the kind of voice I gave to you, Sod, very stern. Greetings, Dr. Moses. It's been a while. An unwelcome guest visited me. An association fixer in Section 2 of the 7th Southern Branch, and my former assistant, Heejun. Their eyes are just as arrogant as I remember. Going with there, too, huh? It must feel good to be playing in the big leagues way above me, doesn't it? Oh no, not at all. Hello, Heejun-sun, Tionbei. Ezra, you tactless dork. The fucking translators using dork is amazing. I hope you realize how much they're looking down on us by now. What are you doing all the way here? Heading north all the way up here for the south part of the city? Must be a complete mess down there with Elcorp collapsing. Oh. So wait, when does this take place? Elcorp. So is this immediately... Is this like right before... So this is like right before Ruina, huh? Or at least during the very beginning parts of Ruina, huh? You're sharp as always, Doctor. I'm actually here because of that. What? Look, I'm just too old to get myself involved with the wings. The distortion. You can still see it, right? I would have closed this office otherwise. I wonder how I appear to you, then. Snobby prick. Always asking questions I'm not comfortable with. Well, your mouth is sewn up, it seems. Perhaps because it's actually going to be zipped up soon enough. I actually can't see their face at all, other than two eyes floating in the air. You haven't changed at all. Don't you need some funds? Do I look like I'm in a financial crisis? Then why else would you be doing work as silly as the Distortion Detective? I see. It's because you still can't forget about what you did back then. You still regret that, don't you? That's enough! Shut up! I don't know how to pronounce his name exactly. Heejun Sunbae. Ezra grabbed... Oh my god. On by the collar. The uncanny smile in their eyes still wouldn't go away. Let them speak on. Ezra and I were the only ones to survive your rampage that day. You're essentially responsible for our lives, Doctor. Doctor? Oh, yeah, I realized he called him Dr. Okay. Huh. Wait, that's interesting. Ezra and I were the only ones to survive your rampage that day. You are essentially responsible for our lives, Doctor. What do you want me to do? Bite my tongue and die? I can't have you die on us so easily, no. You still owe us so much debt. Get to the point. Why did you come here all the way from the south? I want you to head down there for a while. The southern branch is dealing with troubling incidents that are suspected to be the cases of the distortion. We need your ability, Doctor. And please stop with your shabby attempts to solve your cases. What we want is the distortion manifesting in its whole. Don't try to restore them, just leave them to be until they fully distort. What, is the human 7 into human experiments now? I suppose you could put it that way. I've reserved 2 warp train tickets departing from N-Corp's nest in 2 months, so take the train and visit our associate office once the time arrives. Is it a request directly assigned from the 7 Association? Yes, it's an urban class nightmare. You're free to deny it, of course. You don't care too much about belonging to associations after all, but you might be able to make me discern person at the end of this request. Leave the tickets here and sod off. I will say the vocalizer is very much like the word sod. They use it here, which is surprising. Heathcliff, the amount of times they use it with Heathcliff makes sense, but here is surprising. I look forward to seeing you, Doctor. Heejun left, once again smirking with their eyes. Ezra, throw salt out the door or something. We don't have any salt in the office, though. Should I go buy some? You know what? I gotta go buy some. I knew this day would come. I love how just tired Moses is. I love her so much. She's just tired of everyone's bullshit. It's great. The office leave feels like a devastated war zone after that snob's left by. I keep smoking until the evening, finding memories of my path. Ezra, bring me a map of the city. Yes, Chief. But we don't have an officially printed map here. 1 second, please. I'll try drawing one up. She's passionate in weird areas. That's what makes her fit to be my assistant. Here, it's done. I made it using picture stone. Call this a map? Well, it works. I'm guessing this was a dev. This was just straight up a dev. Like, I don't want to pay. I don't want to make the artist to do it. Oh wait, I never realized this before actually, because I've never actually got like a really clear picture of the map. It really is just a spiral, isn't it? Huh. Interesting. I wonder why it's like that exactly. Where like I wonder if the edges are actually like that on the official map. So they live in District 14. We live in District 14, which belongs. Didn't notice any. Yeah, so I'm not the only one. Yeah, so I guess that's something that Distortion Detective gives more detail on compared to other things. Because yeah, like the only time we've seen like a full-on map, I think, was Limbus Company, and like it cuts off like half of it, so like it's very awkward to see. I like how I recognize this as a Project Moon universe. Project Moon universe from the city layout. Yeah, I recognized the layout. I never realized the districts were a spiral like that. And I'm happy to know that you share the same brain rot as I. Where you just see a map and you're like, whoa, that's Project Moon. You know, I guess we've never also gotten details on that. Is that supposed to be like a mountain range outside of the city, I'm guessing? This is like the outskirts. Taking a warp train is the only feasible way to get to District 11 in K-Corp's nest. I frankly want nothing to do with the white tie fixtures in the south, but at the end of the day, I have no choice but to go. All because I committed an irreversible misdeed. I mean, 4-6. Oh yeah, it is the Force. I forget that is the Force. There is a Force on the outskirts. I would say I would be confused by why it would be the only feasible way, but then once again, they have talked about how the city is basically the size of Korea. Though even then, Korea isn't that big, especially. Or I guess, you know, some people say it's the size of Korea. Does that include both North and South, or is it just South Korea? I know people say it's the size of Korea, so, but that's very vague, because that could mean so many things. But yeah, I'm guessing it's the combined size for it to be, like, seem that unfeasible to travel about what seems to be halfway across the city. 2 months later, huh? Let's see. Heejun Seonbei said that this was related to L Corp. Then why aren't we just going straight to District 12 where L Corp used to be? Yeah, that is true. I heard L Corp nests had already fallen into absolute anarchy. They probably called us to stay in a safe place that's relatively close to it. The warp platform in L Corp's nest likely stopped operating anyways. I mean, yeah, if it's anarchy, it would make sense for everything to be kind of messed up, you know? Detective, are you really gonna drop solving distortions once we get there? Are we just gonna kill them? That's not up for me to decide. It depends on the severity of the distortion. Can't wait. Can't wait to ride the warp train. I heard it only takes 3 seconds to reach destination. Yeah, it sounds so cool. Like that. How could there be something so cool with no downsides? You know, it's just so based. You know. But what if we ran into a distortion that could be reversed if we tried? We can think about that later. There's still time. So let's do our work as usual for now. Got it. I'll fetch our next request. Oh, now they've added bold to this. That's kind of funny, actually. I think we have ads coming up here in a second, so I think we're gonna head to the BRB screen. I'm gonna run to the bathroom. I recommend anyone get some drinks or some water real quick while we're running around here. And we will be back in about 3 minutes, and then we'll be able to stream for another hour without ads. So, I will send us to add jail into the BRB screen, and we will be back in about 3-ish minutes here, and we'll continue reading on Chapter 5. All right, we are back, everybody. Everyone should be free from ads, and we should be able to continue on with chapter 5. Also, yeah, these chapters are actually going really fast. I don't think it's actually would take us that long to actually complete the series. And we're gonna be moving to like Leviathan pretty quickly. Like we're on chapter 5, and we're about like I think halfway through the stream because I think I'll probably have to end around 4. We'll probably get around to like we might be able to finish this in just not as many streams as I thought it was gonna be. This actually isn't as long as I thought it would be. I think I've heard Leviathan is longer though, so we'll see on that one. Because yeah, that's probably what we're gonna do next is Leviathan. Also, you know what? I'm gonna look up the pronunciation before I continue butchering this. Because like I am absolutely butchering this. Let me just listen to this really quickly. Just give me 1 second here. Heejun? Okay, I guess I wasn't off. I guess yeah, it's just Heejun. Okay. I thought I was gonna be way wrong. I thought that was way too easy for it to be that. Apparently I'm ooped. It's been a week here since Han Heejun stirred up a storm in my head. There's no point in being ambivalent about going there. I know that I have no option. What am I apologizing for? Detective, this request is about a high school. Ezra spoke in a cheery tone as usual. A high school? Was it requested by its facility or the principal? No. The student here is our client. Hello. My name is Meryl. The girl, shyly standing behind Ezra, introduced herself. One of her legs is composed of numbers. What's your school? I'm not sure if a student from the back streets has enough money to even make a request to our office. Detective, actually, she's a client. I mean, a student from a private high school inside N-Corp's Nest. A student from a private school in the Nest? The allowance these kids regularly get from their parents should be more than enough to pay us. I'm willing to play with those rich kids in their detective games as long as the request fee is paid. So what problem does our young client want us to solve? Actually, something strange is happening in our school. An important exam is ahead of us, and everyone's on edge preparing for college admissions. High school students in the Nest should aim for universities in the Nest as a matter of course. The college scholastic ability test held in the Nest every year. This one determines a myriad of things. Getting low scores and going to college in the back streets won't do you any good. Entering any college in the Nest is pretty much the baseline requirement for joining a wing. So, the strange events happening in your school must be disturbing your studies, and you wanted to resolve it, right? It's not just about my grades. My friends got weird. The whole school gets weird. The students and the teachers, too. We need you to let us know what kind of strange occurrences are taking place before we could be of any help. They won't go back home at all. The classes won't end. All of the students? Yes, all of them. What about you? Only I could escape. I was in a classroom when I came to my senses. It was past midnight. Teacher was watching us from the front of the class, and all my friends were absorbed in study, solving problems in workbooks. Aren't parents worried about their children? Oh, aren't parents worried about their children not coming back home? Ezra asked, confused by the parents' strangeness. I wonder if there are more public or private schools in the city. I would guess private, honestly. Just because, like, just based on the fact that, like, I don't think anyone have the money for school, and I doubt the city is kind enough for public schools. I'm gonna be so for real. I would guess it's very much like Nest private schools are very much more likely to have happen, I think. I wouldn't be surprised if you told me that they weren't, like, they had, like, elementary school to learn how to read, and that's it. Then they're sent out to the workforce, basically. Oh no, but actually, she did say a student from the back street, so it has to be there has to be high school ones too. Huh. That is weird, actually. That is a weird thought to think about. The city and all of its chaos and letting people die also have public schools? Really? Huh. They have to be rare. There's no way that they are, like, actually rare, knowing the city we're dealing with here, you know? Enjoying your tea. Nice. You know, that would actually, you know what, I I should get something nice and warm to drink during one of these streams. That actually sounds so... That sounds like such a vibe. Like, I'm actually so relaxed right now. I'm very enjoying this stream, by the way. I think this is, like, one of the most relaxed I've been on in stream kind of thing. I very much enjoy it. Yeah. And if there are a lot of public schools in the city... Oh, why did my audio Wait, did the audio capture again? Oh, no. That's a different audio capture. Yeah, it's that one there. I'm stupid. But yeah, no, this has like been like one of the most relaxed I've been on like a stream. It's like very nice. But yeah, no, like if there are a lot of public schools in the city for like the back streets, it has to be like the most rundown shit possible. There's no way that this schools are like even like basic, even like getting the basic necessities. Oh, I'm gonna read the English version because I'm gonna butcher that. It's the CSAT soon enough. Our school's average scores for the mock test made the top 10 RNS. Parents must have been okay with however the school treated their kids as long as their grades weren't improving. How long has this abnormality been going on? The last thing I remember before I lost myself was 2 months ago. It was day when the school announced they were making a scholarship class. They said something with the highest grades would be selected. Distortion that has lasted 2 months. We should go there and see what's going on ourselves. Ezra, we're heading into the nest. Yes, Chief. I'll get the fixer license and the association certificate. I don't really feel like staying in N-Corp's nest any longer than necessary. A place full of buildings painted in pure white. I'd end up going crazy in no time if I lived there. What manga and manhwa are you reading right now? I go through like a decent list of those usually. One interesting one that I have found somewhat recently that's actually pretty neat. I guess it's technically a part like of the isekai realm. It's like I think it's surviving as a barbarian. And it's like it's one of those like kind of like it sounds very I know it's gonna sound like very basic and kind of cringe isekai story, but basically the guy gets transported to a game world. But instead of having time to acclimate or anything like that, he is basically thrown into a ritual where anyone who comes from the other world is basically an evil spirit and are purged from the world itself. And you have to survive in this city that basically has a tax every month, that if you fail to pay, the cost is execution. The world is very crazy, and the story is actually very interesting in my opinion. The game so far has made sense from like an actual like game perspective because it's not taking the entire point of the game that it's from is actually like a story-based RPG kind of thing. So not story-based, it's roguelike RPG. It's very interesting. That's like one of the favorite ones I'm reading right now anyways. It's a very peculiar one, and like the leveling system is very much different. It's basically I think it works very well, and it's very interesting how it's rolling basically. I recommend it. Surviving as a Barbarian is I think basically what the English name is. I'd recommend it. And the character is actually interesting. The world is very interesting. And it has some pretty interesting plot hooks. Anyway, sorry, I got sidetracked with the question. I'll get back to actually reading the Distortion now. I don't feel like staying in N-Corp's nest any longer than necessary. A place full of buildings of pure white. I ended up going crazy in no time if I lived there. Oh yeah, you know what? That is a good question. Did we ever actually learn what the N-Corp singularity was? I don't think we ever learned it, because basically our time at N-Corp was basically Cromer's gang jumping Sinclair's old town. Did they ever mention what the singularity was? Because I think like we basically went from the train yard, I think? Yeah, we basically went from the trains to Sinclair's village immediately. Like, we didn't even get to, like, see what the singularity was. What did I miss? You have missed, I think, pretty much. We've met the camera distortion. We just met the Hanjun, the funny man that I thought was a woman. I looked up art of him immediately just to see what he looked like. I thought it was a woman. I thought that was straight up a woman. No, that's a dude. Yeah, we're on chapter 5 now. We're on Moses about to head over to K-Corp, basically. Well, they're doing the N-Corp nest first, I think. Yeah, basically they just got told to come to K-Corp in about like 3 months. It was one of those cases of like PM androgyny is crazy. Because like it's the short hair, but he has very like pronounced eyelashes that I thought were on purpose. The frame is also very androgynous. I thought it, like I straight up guessed like, and I was off. I was completely wrong on that one. The squarish 5-story building is also in white. Through the white gate is a white schoolyard. The school is dead silent. Then something foreign catches my eye. A red number floating on the rooftop of the school. 5. Meryl, what is the number on the top of your school building? That shows how many days are left until the year's final mock exam. It's painted in a menacing blood red. But, detective, the number's white, just like the rest of my school, though. It's a distortion. Red liquid drips from the number sign. Are there any procedures for us outsiders to take before entering? There are, but I don't think anyone cares right now. When we enter the school building, a noise can be heard. Scritch, scratch. The noise grows louder and more frequent. Scritch, scratch, scribble, scribble, scritch, scratch, scribble, scribble, scritch, scratch, scribble, scribble. Oh, you also read that one? That's funny, actually. I'm completely caught up and waiting for more chapters on the Barbarian one. I miss my bricks. Next stream, you'll get your bricks back, alright? Hurts my head so much. What is this grating noise? It's the sound of students in each class solving problems on a worksheet. They press the pencils against paper so hard when they write. I look through the window of a class designated 1-7. 40 students had their heads fixed inches above their desk, only their hands moving briskly. What do those students look like to you, detective? Amalgamations of numbers and school uniforms. Yeesh. That means the distortion had progressed by a lot, right? They're pretty much already distorted. What do you mean by distorted? That means the strange events you describe are happening in real life. Something showed up from the end of the corridor. It was a moving wall, big enough to blockade the corridor completely. Warning, warning, students who do not study will face disciplinary action. Detective, it's a distortion, I can see it too! A formula is written on the wall, a distortion made of math problems. This world is never short of oddities, isn't it? This one seems to be a calculus problem. Ezra, could you solve that for us? No. Why do I even bother asking? Accounting is the only kind of calculation she's good at. How about you, Meryl? Well, I'm more of a humanities major. Ugh. Behind us is a dead end. We'd have to break through anyhow. All we have to do is solve that math problem on the wall, but no one is up to it. Pick me up. I think I've heard of Infinite Gotcha, but I think that's the only one I've heard of from those names you listed. You know, yeah, if you want to send them to me, I'll take a peek at them, see if they look interesting. I'm pretty sure this is what high school students saw. What? Giant brick walls chasing you down with math problems, Mario? Guess it's up to me now. I took a ballpoint pen and wrote down an answer on the approaching wall. Wrong answer! You will attend supplementary lessons now! I think I'll look at them after stream. I'm gonna wait till after stream to do it, basically. I don't want to sidetrack stream right now to look at those possible ones, you know? Sounds interesting, but I don't want to completely go on that one, you know? Knew it. The wall pressed against us, so this is how it ends. I should get someone smarter to be my assistant next time. Yeah, I think you talked about, yeah, the Tyrant one got an adaptation. My consciousness fades. When I woke up, I found myself sitting at a desk in a classroom, wearing the school's uniform. Students around me are busy solving problems on the worksheet. How much time has passed? Red number 30 floats to the center of the class. The last one I saw read 5. Does that mean we travel back to the past? Could this be a case of the distortion that could reverse the flow of time? Fox focusing on book, yes. Sudden bursts of force pressed my head from behind. My face was slammed right onto the desk. Solve the problems. An oppressive voice ordered me. I skimmed through the worksheet on my desk. 17. Blending 3 humans in a mixture generates 10 units of energy. Given these conditions, what is the optimal solution to assemble 2 humans to generate 15 units of energy? What? Blending 3 humans in a mixture generates 10 units of energy. Given these conditions, what is the optimal solution to assemble 2 humans to generate 15? This is some weird math that I'm not getting. I'm not even translating the page. I don't know. I'm guessing this is like this was a issue on translation. I don't think that's right. Huh. Weird. Chiyosu wants to be an artist. The wing Chiyosu has to go to does not need any artists. Given these conditions, how many dreams should Chiyosu kill? Oh god. Jesus. 45. There's a cube composed of minuscule humans. The cube factory must beat a certain quota every day. An eye cabal could be squeezed out for hydrogen. When O is the outer center of the left eye, how many right eyes are needed to make a cube with side length that are 4 meters long? These don't even make sense. The distorted school gives out, giving out distorted problems. They must constantly print out meaningless problems that will be solved without any significance. Detective, I have no idea what these problems say. Ezra's seat was right next to mine. She's looking at me. Her face is on the verge of tears. I barely lift my head and look at the number 17. So that was in minutes, not days. Let's wait until the exam starts. Just write down random things on the worksheet for now. Got it. Voice could be heard again. You have 10 minutes until the mock exam starts. You must strive to solve as many problems as possible. This is all for the sake of your future. Problems you solve now will be weapons later in life. Ezra, little oopid. She's more than a little oopid. She big oopid. Actually, probably not even just big oopid. She huge oopid. You see how tall she is. She huge oopid. The number reaches 0. Ding dong, ding dong. Commencing the mock exam. With that announcement, the school crumbled. All that remained were students on a white plain. Then a tall staircase rose from the middle of the field. A trophy was placed on top. The exam has begun. Bro, what the? Can you give me some of that luck? Like, I got scammed, Mario. You don't understand. I've been getting scammed lately, so I'll take that, please. Detective, is this a distortion too? I can't believe this. It's time to update my information on the distortion phenomenon. Keep it together, detective. We gotta run for now. Appears that a massive world on its own could be created when the interest and desire of a large group of people can coincide. This is my first time seeing a distortion occur at this scale. Mass distortion. Means this entire school is distorted. No, it's not the school building itself. Every student in it is distorted. All the students run towards the staircase, trying to climb up it. Some trying to nail down the students ahead of them, while others push away the students behind them. The numbers add and subtract each other. They multiply and divide by each other. Decimal points pour out of their bodies. This is a war zone for a very vicious battle. War where everyone recognizes each other as numbers. No other words are needed. In this scene of numerical violence, they must add to themselves and divide others. Problems they've solved so far become weapons to kill each other. When a student assaults another with numbers, the numbers on the victims' heads fall off. Number of students won't attack us. Perhaps the low-wing numbers sitting at the bottom of the staircase like us aren't worth their attention. Fixers, I'm up here! It's Meryl. Her distortion progressed much more in the span of time. We were separated from her. She was already halfway to the top of the stairs. Meryl, you should come back down here. Meryl, you should come back down here! Ezra yelled. Meryl, there's no reason to climb those stairs. This is a war, a gamble, fighting against each other with knowledge and grades on the line. If you don't climb those stairs, you'll be safe from it. No, I'll stay here. We all agreed on this to decide who gets advanced to the scholarship class, Meryl replied, killing other students. You're taking part in this massacre? I'm already halfway there, though. I could go further. A 7 struck Meryl's head out of nowhere. The number in Meryl's head scattered about as she fell to the floor. Thud, thud, thud. I could hear the sounds of numerous students hitting the floor, the noise of students killing each other. Ezra had turned away from the sight, looking at the floor. I silently continued to watch the staircase. The student with a giant number for a head had reached the top of the stairs at last. The exam is over. Knowledge and grades will be redistributed to students based on how high they are on a staircase. The top 20% will be designated as scholarship class to receive the honor of representing our school. With a flash, the school returned to normal. Students were all in seats as if nothing happened. I could see Meryl among them. Meryl, are you alright? Ezra ran towards Meryl to check on her. Blank stare, muttering menacing words. She had everything taken from her. This is absurd. It was the consequence of Meryl's own choice. There's no need for you to feel guilty about it. But let's just head back. We couldn't solve the distortion. We can't expect to solve every problem in the world. I took out my pipe from its inner coat pocket. Why are distorted people all so irrational? They're all too extreme. They distort because their minds are driven into a corner. That impatient leads to leaps in their logic. 40% of the school graduates are said to be living in seclusion, having failed to enter any college. However, the scholarship class demonstrated an unprecedented amount of successful admissions to prestigious universities, bringing the school fame and many more inquiries for entrance. Students who have successfully climbed up the stairs killing each other will grow into feathers of the wings. Fluttering those wings, the city soars. Jesus, I think that's actually like the darkest chapter we've had so far. Oh no, I guess the flesh ones have also died, but nothing to this scale. Basically, it's just how the school is now. They can't solve it. I'm guessing there's no way to solve it by themselves. If the only way to solve something like that, I guess, would be to bring in more people. The only thing that makes sense to me, anyways, from what I'm hearing. We have 1 month until we leave for the work for District 11. I have accepted taking Han Heejun's offer to be an effective truth at this point. And I imagine it's going to be a long trip. We might never come back even. We're shopping at the Workshop Boulevard today. That means we'll also get to eat outside, right? We're not going there for leisure. I know, our purpose of the visit is to request the workshop for the equipment and gadgets we'll need in our office. Ezra spoke with excitement. This could be our very last chance to shop. I know that too. We gotta leave in a month. You could stay here if you want to. I can't let you eat all the treats down there by yourself, though. The workshops in this boulevard treat various necessities and supplies, as well as equipment for fixers. Therefore, it's important to pick the right workshops according to your needs. Of course, workshops try to advertise themselves as well. Some become known through word of mouth, despite how complicated it can be to navigate the products at a workshop. Don't expend any effort toward looking for adequate workshop goods myself. My assistant Ezra here is a maniac for workshop products. She seems to have a peculiar tendency to prefer more expensive workshops, but she does a lot of research on various gears and gadgets, and the ones she purchases end up being quite reliable. She's pretty much stuffed her personal collection of gadgets in the dimensional bag by now. Detective, the workshops I frequent are all sold out or out of request slots. I wonder what's up. I don't know, maybe the fingers are out wreaking havoc on some place we haven't seen. So have you failed to get any equipment we wanted? Yepper, I have. We're not gonna get the gadgets in time if I request for them any later. Sorry, I just got like suddenly really thirsty. Ezra mumbled. I walked the streets believing that things will work out anyway. Detective, behind us! Yes, a bunch of nuisances are after us. Could they be from a syndicate? Maybe an office of fixers, or perhaps a wing? Whichever they may belong to, they're all essentially the same. They want to extract information from me. Well, to have a friendly chat with the fellows following us into the streets like this, we need to go deeper into the alleys. We slowly walk through the complex alleyways, intertwined like a maze. Steel doors are all lined up on the walls, guarding residencies that don't appear to be well maintained. The time is noon. The noise of pedestrians fade away, while the footsteps of our pursuers become louder. We've arrived at a dead end, an empty lot. This is our favorite spot for conversations, an obscure corner in the street with no witnesses. And even if there was a witness, if a witness were to exist, they wouldn't be able to go anywhere from here. You give me Dionysus calling right after I get a drink? Alright, I'll take another sip. Now, what could you be wondering about, friends? So much as to follow us all the way out here. I took out my pipe from its inner coat pocket and held it between my lips. There's a lot of people I'm seeing, about 30 of them. They're all wearing green suits. The distortion doesn't seem too bad. All of them are holding weapons like bats or knives. One, in a green fedora, walks up and starts speaking. Interesting. Wonder what voice of... I hear green fedora and I immediately want to go, "Milady." I think that's too much of a jokey voice for that though, so I'm not gonna do that. Too many people are telling me happy birthday. I'm scared. Why are you scared? That's a good thing. Accept it with happiness, Kanta. You, Moses, from the fixer from Cookie Street? Yes, I am. Happy birthday. I answered with a smile. We'd like to purchase that long smoking pipe you're carrying. That was unexpected. Someone already has intel on my pipe? For how much? Ezra asked with sparkling passion. 100 million on. Hey, that thing's at least worth 500 million. There's no way we're negotiating for a price that low, right, detective? Oh, nice. I think I've heard a friend of mine actually talk about that one, funny enough. Ezra said in a rather disappointed tone. Not even 500 million on could buy it for me. That's essentially a part of me, you see? Never fathomed the idea of selling it to anyone. Who told you about this pipe, by the way? That's unfortunate. We were looking forward to a graceful trade. The one in the fedora walked back and went into the group. Ezra, can you handle them all on your own? Yes, Chief! Ezra yelled as she put her dimensional bag on the ground. Street combat loadout. Fucking about to pull out a street sweeper. Oh my god. I don't know why, but I just imagine like she just pull. I think it'd be just really funny that Ezra just randomly pulls out a shotgun at like some point, you know? I don't know why, but I just imagine Ezra to be the type that would, like, out of everyone in the city, she would use a shotgun for some reason. You know, I'm an idiot. I know exactly why. I've called her Yang about 20 times, so my brain probably is associated with shotguns and gauntlets with her. In response to Ezra's command, the Nestor hammer flew into her hand as she got equipped with Alice workshop gloves. Sweeper! Yeah. The group of 30 people started charging at us all at once. Ezra blocks off the cramped passage to the empty lot by herself as she takes on the gang one by one. Alice workshop gloves could accelerate the movement of her hands by 5 times the velocity. Accelerating the glove, she swings her Nestor hammer, a small one. A small one-handed hammer suited for combat in confined spaces such as the alleyway we're in right now. The hammer is capable of delivering impact to a large area of the object its head comes into contact with. When the Nestor hammer hits one hoodwoman in green with such accelerated force, it punches a wide hole through his chest. Jesus! She violently swings her other hand to crush the jaw of another ruffian rushing at her. She breaks the bones and smashes the flesh of one mobster at a time. But not even her superior physique could impede all of them from getting through the passage. Most of all, Ezra is not being serious in the first place. Please take care of the ones I missed, detective! I'm cutting your salary. What? I let out a crimson-red breath. The smoking pipe emitted a scarlet glow before assuming the shape of a sword. I grabbed its handle and prepared to talk. I positioned myself and stabbed the blade into the neck of the thug running at me. With elegance and composure in each and every step, I punctured a red hole in the body of each gangster coming at me. The strong scent of blood filled the alleyway and the lot. Detective, the fedora guy's trying to run away! Ezra yelled at me, her body covered in blood. Bro, fucking Limbus Company undersells how brutal Ezra is. I'm gonna be so for real. Like, Ezra just seems really chill, and then, like, we come to this. Her first time hearing Ezra fight. Yeah, she just punched a hole through a man's chest. Nothing major, you know? I breathed the violent breeze into my pipe. The pipes began flailing along around as it elongated. It soon shifted into a whip with purple thorns growing out of it. I lashed out my pipe to snatch the angle of the person in the fedora. They stumbled and fell flat on their face into a pool of blood. Ezra drags the fallen mobster and drops them in front of me. Tell me, who gave you the information about my pipe? I was trying to avoid using it too often so it wouldn't draw unnecessary attention. I'm afraid I cannot say. Ezra, go have some nice heart-to-heart talk with this fellow. Leaving the interrogation to Ezra, I smoked alone in the empty lot. Remember, she could barely crash against Matthias. Yeah, I know! And she did have Mong. I think I do remember her. She did have, like, Mong on her weapons at one point, I think. So, like, we know she's very strong in the city, but, like, I didn't know she was this brutal. Like, I never expected her to be weak. I just didn't expect her fighting style to be as brutal as it sounds, apparently. I get it's the city, but it's still very crazy to me. Like, just the sudden violence from, like, the fucking puppy dog golden retriever over here going full fucking murder mode, you know? It's just impressive to me more than anything. Yeah, just like she doesn't just doesn't seem like the type, you know. But I guess you know what? This is the city after all. In the end, you gotta be brutal if you make it this far. Not so long after, Ezra came back with the person whose face was now mashed pretty badly. Detective, this one seems to have a lock on his brain or something. I can't get them to spill the beans no matter what I do. Dogs are very scary and vicious. Some are. You're not one of them. You're not one of the vicious ones. I lifted the head of the mobster and took a look at the back of their head. The tiny logo of J-Corp is branded on. Indeed, it is locked with a singularity. The client must have spent quite a bit of money. Still, there's a way as long as it's not a more expensive type. Now... Oh. Stupid. I exhaled a white puff through the pipe. The smoke coils around the mobster's body. Now take a deep breath in. They began to tremble as they inhaled the smoke. You're not acting out of your own will anymore. You're obeying my will. The lock will obstruct your thoughts no longer. They slowly began to speak at last. Urea Altilier wanted to study the mechanisms of that pipe. Said it's okay for us to kill as long as we brought the thing. Ezra's eyes were wide open, shocked by what she heard. Ezra, do you know anything about Urea Atelier? That's one of the workshops, right? Yeah. Of course, it's a premium workshop only accessible to people with their membership. It's probably one of the top 10 workshops in District 14, I think. I should totally take a 4-hour nap. I mean, if you want to start watching the movie at like 7, we can do that. Sure, that works. The workshop's maniac's eyes sparkled as she gave an explanation. Then why can't we join that membership? The conditions are a bit tricky. I don't think they'll accept us. They want to study the mechanism of my smoking pipe, huh? I'm interested in learning how this thing works as well. Do you think the workshop could provide us with the gear we need? Yeah, you bet. They most certainly have the skills. Ezra, lead me to this Uriel Atelier. Let's say hello to whoever just tried to get us killed. And take this thug with us just in case. Yeah, I think we'll have time to do one more, I think. Okay, no, this is just more of an explanation, huh? Okay, this is just... yeah, we'll look at this and we'll see this kind of thing. 49. Oh, wow. Oh, she old. I didn't think she was 49. You know what? Fair enough. Oh, yeah, she old. 7 association. Grade 7-5 fixer. 5'1". I'm guessing this rank has definitely had to have gone up at some point between Wimbus Company, knowing that she was helping fight Matthias pretty easily. Closing her hobbies. She's 5'1" in height. Damn. She really is tiny. I guess that makes... she was pretty tiny. I didn't expect her to be that small, though. Closing her eyes and indulging in deep thought, cleaning her smoking pipes. Specialities, concentration, and quick wits. Likes tobacco, spending time, calmly immersed in thoughts. Dislikes whiners, impatient people, noise. Yeah, here we have the colon 3 Ezra herself. So I'm guessing all the stickers are workshops then, by the way. Dawn is fixers, she's workshops. Look how this looks from the angle and how they drew these. She looks like she has hooves. I don't know why that looks like hooves. Ezra, age 28, female, 7 association, grade 3 fixer, height 187, 6'2" in feet. Yeah, I'm like I think I'm just barely taller than her. Basically, like I think I'm... with shoes on, I think I was about 193 centimeters or about 6'3". I don't think I ever actually have gotten fully measured without my shoes on, but yeah, I think even discounting shoes, I'm still going to be a little bit taller than her. Collecting workshop weapons, snacking on cookies while the detective isn't looking. Specialties, request fee negotiating, hectic brawling. Yeah, we weren't that one last chapter. Expensive and powerful weapons, sweets such as sugary coffee and cake, small animals, houses, ham, pans, mustard sandwiches. Dislike waiting for Moses to finish thinking. It's understandable. Flowers, she's allergic to them. I fucking love that. That's so cute, actually, though. Secret Uma fan, yeah. She likes workshop weapons, punching holes through people's chests. Ham Ham Pang Pang mentioned. You missed it, Naki. There was like a whole ass Ham Ham Pang Pang like advertisement in the chapter where she's like, Mo's like, oh yeah, I went to Ham Ham Pang Pang. Ezra goes, did you get me any? And she got like a mustard sandwich that she loved. It's very funny. Like they straight up had a whole ass advertisement in their like thing. This truly was a Ham Ham Pang Pang, you know? Actually, wait, 1 second. Let me just do one thing really quickly and let me adjust something. Let's see. I'm just messing with something. I gotta fix something really quickly on my side here. I think that's right. Yeah, sorry, I have to fix something on my phone real quick. Don't mind me. Just give me like 2 seconds and I'll fix it on my end here. Yeah, that should look good on my end here. Alright, Ezra leads the way, carrying the fedora mobster on her shoulder. Also, yeah, Chapter 7, Uriah Altier, behold your graceful maneuvers and this elegant smoke. I'm guessing they might fight, I'm guessing? Maybe a little bit, just a wee bit? Maybe, yeah. Ezra leads the way. No, sorry. Actually, no, like, oh, damn it, I didn't fix it, actually. I didn't fix it as much as I did. Give me, like, 2 seconds here. I'm breaking things, don't mind. I'm sorry, y'all. Okay, yeah, that should be perfect. There we go. Ezra leads the way, carrying the fedora mobster on her shoulder. She seems excited to visit the esteemed workshop she's never gone to enter before. The mobster with a smashed face tries to negotiate with us. Hey, don't take me to Uriah, please. She's gonna use me as her test subject. I'm sure of it. Should we really care for the well-being of a crook who tried to kill us? Yeah, just kill me now. I'd rather die here than be brought to that sick bastard. All the more reason to take you to her, then, I answered, smoking from the pipe. Whoa, I used to just take a peek at this place when I walked by. Now we get to see what's inside. Is this the place? Seems pretty small for a renowned workshop. A square building about 3 meters tall stood by itself in the center of the city. The small letters read on the workshop door read Uriah Altier. Under that which was a kind of instruction that read, please knock only if you are part of our membership. I read in a catalog that Uriah Altier is run by one person. I think that's why it's so small. I assume it only produces goods in small quantities then. That's not the case, actually. I heard this workshop values both quality and quantity. That's rather suspicious, but before that, how do we get in here now? I could have Ezra break through a door this size, but as most things in the city, you should never judge something by looks alone. The door could very well be armed with some foolhardy security device that melts whoever touches it without authorization. Hey, Fedora, how do we get into this workshop? You gotta have the membership. Well, do you have it? Our syndicate took on the job so that we can get it. How do you meet Uriah, then? Detective, Uriah Altier chooses its own clients. The workshop sends member invitations to potential patrons, but we haven't gotten anything like that. What kind of stupid criteria makes this fedora-wearing moron eligible and not us? Stop. You tell me. Fedora opened the door. What? No way. Who knows what kind of security system it might have? How about this, then? If you do as I say, I won't hand you over to Uriah. You promise? You promise? Sure. Fedora walks over to the door. They break into a cold sweat, hesitating to touch the door before finally reaching out to the door handle. Nothing happens yet. They turn to the door and slowly pull it open. The door opens, revealing a staircase leading underground. It seemed to go pretty deep. I knew this workshop couldn't be this small. Wow, Detective, I guess the real workshop is down there. Am I free now? Take the lead. Damn it. We walked downstairs. Tremors could be felt coming from below. My instincts tell me there's no ordinary quiver. Something is approaching us quickly. Detective, what's that? Actually, what is that? A boar? A bear? A giant creature is running towards us. Oh, that's our internal Moses' internal monologue. Actually, what is that? A boar? A bear? A giant creature is running towards us. It's a teddy bear! It's so cute! Ezra gleefully spoke with a twinkle in her eyes. What it's about to do to us doesn't seem very cute. A giant teddy bear charged at us on all fours. Is that part of the workshop security system? Curious. Or perhaps it's... Ezra, stop that thing. Yes! The teddy bear swung its paw at the fedora mobster in front of us, removing the upper half of their body one clean swipe. Spicy fist mode! Ezra equipped Namir workshop gauntlets on her hands. The impact of Ezra's clashing with the teddy bear sent a shockwave through the basement. Ezra's body is augmented through an expensive and unusual procedure. I must say, that teddy bear is impressive in its own right for enduring her sheer strength. Yeah, she a demon. With a shout, Ezra pushed the bear away and activated her gauntlets. G-Corp Singularity is applied to Namira Workshop gauntlets. The weight of the spear embedded in the center of the gauntlets can be freely controlled. Ezra raised the weight of her gauntlets and punched the teddy bear in the head. Oomph. With a loud noise, Khan's stuffed thing burst into the air. Ezra's fist ripped a large hole in the teddy bear's head. She continued to pummel the bear with both her hands, punching even more holes in the teddy bear's body. Cotton stuffing exits the bear and fills the air with each hit, until the bear is torn beyond recognition. I did a good job, right? Ezra spoke triumphantly. You did indeed. The fact that the teddy bear had nothing but con inside of it still bothered me. Going further down, we arrived at a large corridor, and what awaited us there caught us by surprise. This place is a real piece of work. No wonder we couldn't be invited to that membership. Yeah, I wasn't expecting this much. This whole workshop is a distortion. Teddy bears of various sizes are moving diligently. This place is like an automated factory. Whoever is running this factory should be avoiding us if they know anything what we do. They're using the distortion to operate their workshop, so they obviously wouldn't want it to be solved. They're still cute, though! For you, maybe. At least you have the strength to fend off those teddy bears if they tried to kill you. Walking past the industrial working teddy bears, we reach the end of the corridor. Big workbench is there, other than its normal size and the use of its too many vibrant colors. It appears to be a regular workshop, and someone is standing before it, as if she was waiting for us the whole time. I fucking love Ezra. I just read the line before I read the line in my head. I just start. Oh my God, Uriah! Oh no, it's oh my God, not oh my God. Oh my gosh, Uriah! Ezra hopped up and down in excitement. She then took something out of her bag and approached Uriah with a looping stride. What is she trying to do? Autograph this book here, please! Ezra pleaded, bowing her head. I've been collecting autographs of workshop meisters in this book, you see. Uriah approached me, paying absolutely no attention to Ezra. You must be let me look. I think I know what she looks like, but I want to like get somewhat of an idea how she acts before I like give her a voice, probably. Oh, she's smug as hell. Oh, okay. Oh, she evil and smug as hell. I got it. All right, that's all I need to. I just look at her face and her outfit. That tells the full story. All right. That's funny. Gambling good. Are you a winning daughter? I don't know how I just stuttered that much on "Are you winning, daughter?" The fuck? I'm a little crazy apparently. I might be stupid. Oh my God! So Kanta just got the 7 Association Otis. By the way, that's the association that the guy who came, who's harassing Moses is from. Funny enough. You must be Moses. I was eagerly waiting for you, and your pipe too. Uriah spoke in a youthful voice, a clear and bright voice. The gleam in her eyes are different from Ezra's. There's plenty of workshop equipment that can change form, but that pipe of yours is fundamentally different. I'm sure you're aware of it. It even modifies one physical makeup without any surgeries or procedures. When did you get that pipe, and how did you learn to use it? I've been looking for such an object for so long. I know, right? Detective Smoking Pipe is so mysterious, right? Ezra chimed in, quickly shoving her booklet back into the bag, with her face turning bright red. How distracting. I never expected the talented Meister to be such an arrogant chatterbox. She's not the kind of person I'd be entangled with. Huh? Where did this come from? You know the Red Mist? The legendary fixer? Yeah, I met her a couple times. The red mist fabled tales of heroics weren't born of nothing. The weapon she used to brandish and the clothing she used to wear was something sort of equipment as the same sort of equipment as the smoking pipe using. Oh wait, oh that's her, and this is Moses. You know the red mist, the legendary fixer. Yeah, I met her a couple times. Yeah, okay, that is Yuria. I had to make sure Yuria. The red mist fabled tales of heroics weren't born out of nothing. The weapon she used to brandish and the clothing she used to wear were actually the same sort of equipment as the smoking pipe you're using. Huh. I wonder what the pipe is from. Who's the pipe from? Do we know of a smoking abnormality? Only one I can think of is the one from, like, the one people talk about, which is the smoke war and what, Roland turns into, to my knowledge. You're at a pause for a moment. I'm sure you could feel it, too. Maybe vaguely. That smoky pipe resonates with your emotion. She's right. This pipe is nowhere as simple as the likes of a mechanical arm that moves according to a command. It resonated with my feeling, as though if the pipe is part of me. It's been yeah, okay. I've been running this workshop not just to collect cash, but to gather information from this area around me. All the places I've been to before were busts, but look at this. The video starts playing on the screen behind your eye. It's footage of us fighting the syndicate gangs of the empty lot earlier. Astonished, Ezra covered her mouth with her hands. Recorded footage? You had the audacity to break the taboo of District 14. Are young people these days all bold and brash like you? Spoiler. Never mind. There you go. Yeah. Figuring out what I already got a guess on that one. Yeah. I mean, it's not spoilers for me because it's basically something I've encountered. I guess actually putting it together in my head was considered that. I guess, yeah, the spoilers is for the people who couldn't put it together out in their head, but yeah. And I'm pretty sure, yeah, that whole thing with Roland is supposed to be an abnormality related to the smoke war, basically. So that's interesting. So that's two questions. Yeah, it's an ego. Yeah, okay. So it's not an ego gift. It's not like an ego gear, like it was. But that makes it different, right? Because mimicry is not the red mist's ego. Because it's not, mimicry is nothing theirs gear. How does that work exactly? It's not an ego. It's an ego gear. It's not Moses's ego. It's a different kind of ego kind of thing. Yeah, it's the ego equipment. It's not exactly an ego. It's ego equipment made from an abnormality. I'm just wondering what abnormality it is. Because yeah, using the red mist as the example, red mist, she never woke an ego fully, if I'm remembering correctly. Or no, that's what her, is that what her suit is? No, that's not her, that's not ego gear, is it? That can't be ego gear, because she was basically she had that during her mental breakdown. I'm pretty sure, like, I'm 90% sure that it's not her ego gear, it's just equipment from the facility, if I remember correctly. It's not her ego, it's ego gear she grabbed. Her suit is her ego? It is her ego? She developed ego while she's actively crashing out? How? I don't think that's how ego works. Or I guess, you know, Philip did do that while he was also crashing the fuck out. He just ended up distorting halfway through. You know what? Never mind. Fair enough. Zhao, like, only got hers after, like, kind of, like, finding her footing again. She wasn't crashing out at the point she had it. The rules for ego are weird. The rules for ego are weird. Fair enough, I guess. Fuck Philip. Mario, don't say too much about Philip, by the way, because Kanta's still playing through Ruina. Don't make too big of a joke of the later fights, because Kanta's gonna have fun later. Okay, yeah. So her suit is actually her ego, but the weapon she uses was ego gear. Okay. Yuria just wasn't aware of it. Okay, that makes more sense actually. Thank you for that information, Mario. I'm an idiot apparently. I didn't pick that. I thought that was just ego gear as well, because like she was actively crashing out, you know? Yuria went out with a care for her reactions. Behold, your graceful maneuvers in this elegant smoke. I'm about to fall in love. My expectations were right, Moses. You're the one I've been looking for. Scratch that and just tell me. Scratch that and just tell me. Do you know how my pipe works or not? No, I don't. Not yet, anyways. Though I could study it. Try and study it now. Perhaps I could even improve it into something greater. If we work together, of course. She is a nuisance for sure. Oh, did I not say it? I thought I did. Oh my god, did I brain fart on saying it? Sorry, Neon. You're a very good dragon. My bad. I thought I read it and I think I got sidetracked. You're a very good dragon, Neon. I'm sorry. I forgot to say it out loud. Pat, pat, pat. Probably fuck you because she woken up before the light. Yeah, that would make more sense, huh? Yeah, I guess, yeah, she was working under a different rule set at the time, knowing that she probably got help from LobCorp in awakening it early. I doubt it was just her doing it by herself that awoken it, knowing there was no light. LobCorp had to have done something to help her awaken. The only thing that makes sense to me anyways. She's a nuisance for sure, but I need to learn more. I must know more about this power given to me. So, how are you going to try and study it? By looking into your mind. I'll need to know you. It takes time to get to know each other. How's this sound, Moses? Are you prepared to show me your heart? Detective, do you really trust her? She sounds so suspicious. Ezra yelled in a panic. Moses, you're going to have to trust me no matter what. I know. You're going to trust me no matter what. I know you can see it. Right. What can I do for you then? Detective! Ezra was desperate to make me reconsider. Yuria slowly walked towards me and whispered into my ear, I'll be your assistant. I want to watch you from up close. I'll make you gear and equipment just for you. I want to be help to you, all so you can open up your heart to me. I put my hand on my forehead for a moment. This reminds me of some unpleasant memories of the past. I remember meeting someone just like her. I had no other option then, and I had no other option now. The lifeline that descends upon me when there's no way out, the rope I must hold on to. These are the opportunities that ever come to me. Ezra, we're going back to the office. Yes, Chief! With Yuria, empty a storage room for her. What? Yuria followed right behind me while it took Ezra a moment to get moving. The storage room in our office was remodeled into Yuria's personal space. She promised to make equipment for us under one condition, that we take her with us whenever we go to solve cases. Detective, it's so weird. Why aren't you solving her distortion? She broke the taboo of the district too. Ezra complained as she stuffed Ham Peg and Pan's mayonnaise flavored sandwich in her mouth. I am simply making use of Yuria's strength, and I have you to count on, so don't worry. Yeah, she really is just like, she has now adopted a cat, and now after she's adopted a golden retriever. She is a creature. I soothed Ezra. I imagine she's gonna be sulky for a while. Oh my god. I, Moses, have no trust in other human beings. I do not trust the word of Yuria, a stranger. I simply trust my eyes. She is not distorted. I do not see any distortion from Yuria. Let's see. Well, how much time do I have left? Let me double check something here, because I think we might just end it here for now. Alright, yes. We are going to have to end here for today. We have made it through chapter 7. Story of Candace's life right there. Which part? What? Are you gonna claim that I'm sulky, or what are you trying to claim here? Oh my word. But anyways, yes, we are gonna end it from here. We made it a pretty good distance, and honestly, I actually am very much adopting a cat, a dog. True. You know what? Fair enough. But yes, that was actually a lot of fun. I actually am very much enjoying these reading streams. But yes, if anyone has any music recommendations that are not copyrighted, please send them my way. I might actually put them on the background for one of these and actually make a playlist for this. But otherwise, I think we're going to end it here. We're on chapter 7 out of, I think, 42. So, like, yeah, this probably will not take too long to, like, actually, like, full finish out, because this looks like it's going to take, like, about, like, 6 streams or so, I guess. But yeah, no, I had a great time. This is very fun. But yes, I think we are going to head out for now, though. Thank you guys all for coming. We will do more reading streams like this. I'll probably do one next Saturday, too, probably. Make this a nice little weekly Saturday thing to make things easy, you know? But yes, for now, we are going to head out for the night. Take it easy, everybody. Ciao.